it's like, oh yeah, I can think about the past all I want and the future all I want, but I'll just stop condemning. I'll just free my mind of condemnation, and the Spirit is saying, well, actually, you want to reach a state of stillness where you become so fully present that your mind doesn't wander off to thoughts of the future or thoughts of the past. So past future thinking, we could say, would be another real basic form of what is addiction. But that's usually not in the realm of typical human discussions. You know, we don't, when people say, oh yeah, I was thinking of this that happened or that happened, or I'm planning to do this and this and that, we don't think of that as like a craving for a joint or you know, having a nicotine fit or something else. It's a whole different category. So it just shows you how subtle that this judgment thing is, and how you do have to become very intuitive. Like you were saying, you were just allowing yourself to eat the ice cream, eat as much ice cream, and then starting to watch the thoughts of, I'm thinking about the ice cream and I don't really even want it. And it's more of like a child outgrowing a toy. It's not something that you need to wrestle with.
Yeah, it comes very natural, so it's nothing that you have to like, when you allow yourself, it comes to you that you see that you don't want it anymore, just like you say, that it's just like the toy. And it is the allowance that gives you that space, that you don't press it away, like the ego loves that. It's just like, oh, just punch yourself because you feel like you love ice cream or whatever, you know, but just follow that and just follow it in and be very focused on the process of that, and you'll see what's beyond it.
Yeah, and it helps to understand the metaphysics in the sense that somebody raised this to me the other day, that they were saying to me, is it really true that the body doesn't feel? And I said, actually yes, the mind tells the body what to feel. So when you say, I'm feeling sore, or I'm feeling pain, or I'm feeling pleasure, or the mind's so identified with the body, it does seem like the body feels. In untrained awareness, it seems that way. It seems like, even when people talk about holding memories, holding genetic memories in the body, you know, that somehow, sometimes you're going through an exercise or a massage and it's just, somebody's massaging and it's a particular part in the back or something, and all of a sudden this pain comes up, or there's, you might say, a grievance, and they'll say things like, I held that grievance against my ex-husband right back here. And the massage therapist was actually, don't touch that point, and then all these thoughts of the ex-husband come up. It's not that you can really hold the grievance in your body. Again, the body is just like this neutral image. It would be like watching a feather from a duck blow by and say, I'm going to project all my rage at my husband in that feather that's blowing by in the wind. You know, it's, the body is really not capable of feeling, but it is capable of being told what to feel. And that's part of the mesmerism of this world. Now you're starting to see how tricky the ego is. It's sitting back in your mind like a little spider, and it's telling the world what the world means. It's telling your body what it feels. It's telling you what's real and what's not real. It's kind of like, again, like the Matrix, the first Matrix movie, you know, where Cypher is eating the juicy steak, and he says, I know that the Matrix is telling me that this is tasty and juicy, as he's devouring this like medium well, or this medium steak, and he says, but in the end, you know, he basically says, you know, he wants to be put back to sleep. He wants to feel, he wants to taste the juicy steak. He's not interested in anything beyond the juicy steak. Put me back in the power plant. In other words, you know, use me, and I want to go back to sleep. There's another part where I think it's Mouse is talking about different things and saying the body has needs. Well, actually, not only doesn't the body feel, but the body doesn't have needs either. It's the mind that's telling the body how it feels, what it needs, what it doesn't need. And that's why, you've got to find the ghost in the machine. You've got to get back far enough in your mind to unplug this ego. Otherwise, you can do lots of things on the surface to try to manage the discomfort or manage the fear. But I would say it's kind of like rearranging the deck chairs of the Titanic. You're still on a sinking ship, and all you're doing is you're trying to make your final hours more comfortable before the ship goes down. And so, this chair is more comfortable. No, let's move it over here. Will you sit across from me and do some eye gazing? As the ship's going down, we'll do some eye gazing exercises here. But it's like this is where metaphysics come in, and they're extremely important, because without these deeper metaphysics, you're just adapting and adjusting to the ego's lie. It's made up a false world, and then you're trying to use inappropriate means to make yourself more comfortable on its playing field, and it just doesn't work in the long run.
Can I just ask something about the addiction thing in relation to the ice cream, for example? So, how did that relate for you in terms of judgment, like David was just talking about?
Well, it was really beautiful for me to just see that I was allowing myself, and that it turned out to be what it was, just a thought that was behind that. And it was just very beautiful to get in touch with that, because it seems to be so simple, but it's like this feeling of really deep thing that you just it actually kind of applied with all of the food. So I can forget to eat. Sometimes I can eat a lot of food, and sometimes I eat little, but it's like it's just like this release that just kind of went in, like expanded. I feel like it feels like it started with the ice cream, but that it just kind of expands with everything else. With that, I don't know really how to describe that, but feels like it opens up like more and more with just watching it all, like allowing and watch.
When you say I was allowing myself, who's this I that's allowing myself?
Yeah. I still believe that I am Helena. I don't feel like this identified yet, like with that thought. So I just don't. Yeah, that's also the allowing of that. It's like I don't say, oh, I'm elected. So I still.
There's a split that.
Yeah, for me it still feels like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we could break it down a little deeper in terms of the addiction, in terms of, we could say that the ego is the getting mechanism. Nobody could imagine that the spirit, which is everything, is whole and complete, would be, I get, I will get, I want, I need, like in that movie with Bill Murray. What's the one where he's the patient? What about Bob? I need, I want. The ego is always craving, needing, wanting. It's the getting mechanism of the deceived mind. And so we could say that all appetites are of the ego. The spirit doesn't have any appetites. It doesn't want for food or clothing or shelter or sex. It doesn't want for ice cream or anything else. It's the ego is the getting mechanism, because it's the belief in lack, and what is lacking seems to want to get more. The idea that it will fulfill itself if it gets enough, and this just goes on and on. How much is enough? Has anyone who walks this earth ever been satiated by following the ego's getting mechanism?